Hello everyone, Mike Arnold here, co-founder, Pat Trading Partners, along with Bob Iacchino. This is why it's tough to trade against the rotation zones, and don't get overly aggressive. We talked about, this was a potential divergence yesterday, and it continued lower. Couldn't even get in the rotation zone on the 4-hour chart. Could only get there in the 1 hour. A lot of weakness. We had the next level. It went through our 6302 pretty easily, slicing down to the 6100 area and then recovering just above our 6268. So now we can start updating things again lower. This is sort of a major update. Let's see here. So all these levels are done. This is a big update. We're still above. Let's switch over to the daily chart real quick. Get the big perspective. So we're still above the February lows, but just barely. What were those lows off this exchange? They were 6,000, and we just essentially hit 6,100. So that's where it stands. Let's go back to the 4-hour now. All right, so on any rally, we've almost recovered the 12.5%. I'm going to be watching for the next breakdown zone and the 8 coming in, and this prior, I got to update that level too. This is all done because we're below those levels, so that's all done. So it's essentially we can look at that. So that was right around the 64.27. 64.27 and the declining 8, 64.36. So right in this area, 64.30 area to 64.50 area, first major level resistance, because you had dip buyers coming here, sold off, and now we have the declining 8, and we've seen how much the declining 8 has just been pushing the price. That's why we use it in the rotation zone. If we do get through there, then we'd watch for a return to about 66.29. Now let's switch back over to the daily chart. Let's see here. Daily chart on a stronger rally. At this point, be watching for about first area on a stronger rally, the 37.5% in this little shelf right in there, 67.34, and then 69.43 is where the declining 8 is. Again, you're trading against the rotation zone, so be very, very careful. Now, to the downside, if these lows don't hold and we go through 6,000, keep in mind 6,000 was those lows back in February, the panic lows, so that is going to be some support. But then below that is this 58.98, so essentially 5,900. Then we're all the way down to 56.22 to 56.90 is the next major level, and below that 51.37. So if the selling continues, those are the key levels lower. Don't rush into this yet. Wait for some good bottoming patterns to come in. There is no reason to try to pick a bottom in this. Yes, we have a nice little buyers rushing in here, holding nicely, but again, if you're trying to pick the bottom, at least move up your stop or take some partial profits as it gets close to this 8 in case the selling does resume. Otherwise, if this comes back down, always watch for a potential double bottom pattern. Switching over to Ethereum. Wow, Ethereum, what was our next major levels? 449, essentially 450, the low here. 450, so that's essentially hit. We're going to leave these major levels on because we still have one below it, but I'm going to update these other levels because we essentially hit this cluster 446 to 450. I'm going to update them to the next levels down so everybody has them and see how that falls. And look at that. Next minor level 427, next major level 405 there, and 406 here, so that 400 or 405 and 406 is going to be very key should we go lower. Getting still a price divergence. There's some waning momentum, but again, it can still head lower. You can have multiple divergences in a row. First level resistance we're watching for now is a rally back up to about 484, and then if we get through that, watch for about a return to 500 to 510. That's where we're looking on the 4-hour chart. On the daily chart, let's switch over and keep the bigger picture in mind. Daily chart, I'd be watching on a major rally, a return to about these candle bodies in the 37.5, so 500 to 517 would be key. Then above that, you have the declining 8. We are pulling away from this rotation zone pretty far. So at some point, we will get a rally or at least a pause and let the rotation zone catch up. Keep that in mind. So don't be shocked. Remember when we pulled away back at the end of May. See, big bar away finally. Then we returned to it over the next few days, actually got into it. Then the sell-off continued. So don't be shocked if we get some kind of series of bars that take us back to the rotation zone. That's one way, or it pauses sideways and let the rotation zone catch up. But either way, it will at some point reconnect with this, which then we'll have to see how the selling looks then. We are still well above in Ethereum, well above the April lows. And what else? Let's go back even in time. So even December. So April was just below December. So the real lows we're focusing on are these April lows if it continues lower at 358. But, you know, Ethereum's holding up a lot better than a Bitcoin in a relative sense. That's what we have for you in Ethereum and Bitcoin, and we'll talk to everyone soon. Bye for now.